Alright guys, so we're done with both of our step number 8s. It's the butterfly stitch on the liner and the butterfly stitch on this liner. They're both number 8s, alright? So 8A, 8B, 8A, 8B. That's our step number 8. Now we're on to step number 9, which is FL9. That stands for flip. It would be a flip stitch, so flip 9, that's our step there. What we're gonna do is we're gonna join the liner and the upper. Remember, they go face to face. You know, wash my hands, this laser is really, this burnt edge has really got me. So if you see, they should line up perfectly here, and then we have a little notch in the middle so you guys can guide yourselves. And we're just going to stitch all the way around. Remember to keep this peeled back all the way around up to here. All right, so just from here up to there, we're going to stitch at about 2.5 or 3 millimeters from the edge all the way around. All right, so do that. All right guys, we're done with step number 9, which was the flip stitch here. So we're just going to stitch all the way around here, and then we're going to flip it. Remember, don't push too hard, but you do want to make sure you're flipping it all the way out. Should look something like this. Okay, so depending on what edge you want, you can have the foam kind of bulging out here, or you can flip it more like this so that it's a nice kind of seam right down the middle. I like to have the liner sticking out a little bit like that, so I fold the liner over this black suede. Alright, and then once we got all the material completely flipped, that's it. We go on to the next step, which is step number 10. And 10 will be the eye stay overlay number 10. So this one is just going to go over here, and we're just going to stitch the bottom edge all the way up. Alright, so let's go do that. Alright guys, on to our next step, which is going to be gluing the collar foam. Glue 10 or 11, we'll get that fixed. But our next step is going to be gluing the collar foam, all right? So this one should be about, I don't know, depending on what you, how thick you want the foam, I would say 3/8, ½ inch. If you want the SB Dunk, the puffy look one, you might go 1 inch. And this one is just gonna go sprayed. I'm gonna spray on some adhesive, maybe some 77 adhesive spray. Or lately I bought this Gorilla spray, and it's been working good because I ran out and they had an auto store nearby, and that's what they had, so that's been working out pretty good as well. That or the 77 will work fine. And we're just gonna spray here, and then we're gonna glue it on. All right, we'll go do that. Okay guys, just wanted to show you after you spray the foam. It's gonna look like this, and then I sprayed a little bit on top and on the liner. Then I folded the liner down, and don't forget to spray a little bit in here and this underneath the eye stay and this little crack there, and then we're gonna start laying the eye stay down like that. I'm gonna pull down on it. This is not supposed to line up exactly. This was done like that on purpose, so don't try and pull it all the way down. It's supposed to be about 5 millimeters shorter, about 1/4 of an inch. All right, and here you have 3 millimeters, maybe 1/8 of an inch excess, just wiggle room here so you can cut it off later. After we stitch it, we're gonna cut the excess liner off. So this is supposed to be like that, so you want a little extra there. All right, so here I'm gonna go spray a little bit more glue here. And here, all right. And it's starting to take shape. All right. Alright guys, so let's get started. We're just going to do double needle on this. Much respect for all those guys out there with the single needle doing double stitching. You guys do a great job. Oh, sorry. I was actually curious to see if I, because I've had this machine here with 2 needles for a long time, so I was curious. I was like, I wonder if I could do an entire shoe. This was last year, I think. Did an entire shoe, single needle, just to kind of challenge myself, and I see as far as like craftsmanship and stitch work. I mean, Jacob JBF Customs. If you don't follow him, go follow him. He's up there. He's really good. His quality is impeccable. I mean, look at his stitching and oh, my needle's stuck now. You gotta be careful here on this part. You're going over about 4 layers of leather, and so the stitch is a little long, but this is where you have problems with smaller needles breaking. Okay, so that looks pretty good. All right, so that is step 12. Since I have the shoe, I'm just going to go ahead with step 13, which is this stitch around here. But I'm going to do the double needle first, then take off one of the needles and do that. So yeah, this part right here is really thick, guys. Be careful with this, because this is I'm gonna have to go slow here because I end up breaking needles, especially now that I have a smaller needle. I think these are 16 is the size, I believe. I'd like to have an 18, but try to backstitch, but it won't go back because it's too thick, so I will manually backstitch, and there we go. Okay, yeah, it's kind of like cheating, double needle, but you guys don't care. You guys are here to learn. So this thread is, it's okay. So the thread I'm using is, it's this thread. Oh, you can't see. Oh yeah, there you go. It's bonded nylon 69. All right, and you can get these anywhere, pretty much, fabric store, or Amazon, or Thread Exchange. The Thread Exchange, I think, is a website. So you see I'm hand cranking a lot of this step here. It's just only because it's so thick and my needles are not the strongest. What size needles do you guys use? Let me know on the bottom. I mean, I think most are between 16 and 20, or maybe even a 14. I don't know, 22. What do you guys use? So yeah, when you come to the class, we spend about a morning learning how to stitch. So you get time with the sewing machine. Every class I reinvest all my money, and I've been purchasing more machines. So next class, hopefully every student will have their own machine to, oh man, I think I messed up right there. I have to go back with that. It's too thick here. So every student will get their own machine at their station. But It helps for a couple of reasons. You spread less germs and you get more time to practice. You don't have to be waiting for a machine to become available. So next class should have a machine for each one. And I'm going to go over this a little bit with the single needle. I'm not sure what happened. So I'm going to go slow here because there's some very thick leather. Ever since I started my classes, I've had students and other, I'm not gonna say any names, but other shoe schools out there, not just local, worldwide, they've all kind of hit me up and be like, why are you giving away so many secrets? Or I had a student ask me, do you have any trade secrets that you keep for yourself? I was like, not really. I share my resources. I share whatever I can with people. I want people to succeed. If my students succeed, then I succeed. I mean, it doesn't make sense to me to not to share, or not to try and help them as best I can. Give them the opportunity. If they make good shoes, it just brings a whole sneaker culture up a notch. And if my competitor makes a really good shoe, I'm like, shit, I gotta make a better one. Step my game up, next guy steps his game up, and sneaker culture, not just a sneaker culture, but also, you know, makers in general. I mean, I imagine if people who have these sewing machines, all this machinery at home, they're gonna be inclined to make other stuff. Not just sneakers. I mean, you can make hats, wallets, shoulder bags, whatever. So it's the whole culture. Just kind of, the more people learn, I mean, it's gonna improve. The entire culture is gonna grow. So that's kind of where I'm going at. It's not just about keeping trade secrets. I tell them I share everything. I want my students to do the best they can. If not, then what the hell am I doing here? Trying to make money? Luckily, I've had a real estate company for the past 19 years, so I didn't start this for the money. I was a real estate appraiser. I still am part-time. I'm trying to give it up, but it's hard. It's hard turning away work when you come from where I came from, not having money. So anyways, when I started, I didn't start it for the money, and that really helped. I think my followers know, and I think they trust me that I'm not doing this for the money. I'm doing it to truly help them. And all those people that follow me, I think they can kind of sense that. So they trust me and buy my patterns, and I'm very grateful for all of that. Jeez, these little needles are... So as you see, I'm backstitching here manually because it's so thick. And I'm just gonna go slow here. Nice and slowly. Actually, it was Kyle that said, slow is steady and steady is fast. So there you go. And once you learn how to make this shoe, I mean, most of the patterns, they're going to be somewhat similar, but I'll have all the steps. So if you know how to read my patterns, read all the steps, you'll be able to make any shoe. The Jordan 11, the pattern I just made, I think that one already has the steps on it. That one. So I posted in my story that you can use a Jordan 1 last Now I'm gonna take one of the needles off. But actually, when I tried it, the Jordan 1 last, it did fit, but barely. Because of the way the sole, the heel is, it's kind of like cupped. It doesn't really fit. Let me go get a shoe so I can show you real quick. Okay, so here's a Jordan 1 sole. And by the way, this is very sensitive. I popped my bubble here. I heated it up too much, so be careful, guys. So see how the sole is here? It's like cupped all around here, so it curves in. And this one is just flat. So a last that would normally fit here would kind of be too big here because of all this extra space there. I mean, curve. So it fits. This one fits more like a glove. It's more shaped. The Jordan 1 is just flat, if that makes sense. So what I did, I'm a size 12. I've been a size 12 forever. Every now and then I go for 11.5, but 99% of the time I'm a size 12. And I use a size 11 last for a size 12 Jordan, and it worked perfect. And that's because of this shape right here. This is gonna make you go in maybe half a size or one size. So, or maybe I just had some thick leather. I used the Pirarucu or Arapaima fish leather, and I backed it, so maybe it was too thick. Anyways, let's finish step number 13. So yeah, so you can use a Jordan 1 last, but I would go one size smaller. And I mean, like I said, I would never buy a size 11 shoe, but the size 11 last fit on the 12. Maybe I should make a video about that later. A lot of videos I should make. So this is just a decorative stitch. This is step number 13. Let's go over this a little bit. I'm gonna go over manually so I make sure I hit the same hole. And I think we did that, so. Actually, I'm just gonna continue on here. Back it up the corner and I'll continue to this stitch here. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe. It will definitely help us get the video out to more people who need it. And I appreciate you guys watching. And also hit the notification bell somewhere. And you'll get updated as soon as we upload new videos, alright? Thanks again, guys. See you next time.